So this is the complete guide of how to create your own 24/7 client acquisition machine with YouTube. This is the only video you should ever need to watch on the subject. I'm sure other people have created videos as well, but if you're at this video and you watch it all the way through, you will have everything you need to know to create your own channel. Hopefully, I'm gonna finish this in 90 minutes, maybe a little bit less if I'm fast, maybe a little bit longer if I'm not fast. We'll see. What you're gonna get in this video, you will get everything you need to make your own channel. This is a complete roadmap to turn your YouTube channel into a 24/7 client acquisition machine, which is the service that I offer. So if you work with me, this is what I do for you. I'm gonna put that all in here. Every template, every script, every strategy you need to implement yourself. Obviously, you can hire me to do this, or you can do it for yourself. And after watching this video, you will be able to do that. So let's get started. Where you don't wanna be is in the YouTube graveyard. Why do most channels fail? There's really 4 reasons why channels fail. Either you have unclear positioning, so you have no defined niche or target audience, you are chasing views. You're posting random content, you have disjointed videos without a cohesive strategy, so in other words, your videos do not fit together in a cohesive whole. You have weak or missing CTAs. This means that you're saying things like follow and like my channel, right? Nobody is gonna buy from you if you, well, maybe somebody will. But people are gonna do generally what you tell them to do, what you ask them to do. So follow, like, doesn't help with what we're trying to do here, which is get sales from your YouTube channel. Inconsistent posting means that you're irregular. If you're somebody who has a thriving business and you don't have the money to pay for somebody on staff to run your YouTube channel, this is very possibly the reason why your channel may not be working the way that you'd like it to, is because YouTube does not like it when you post irregularly. You could post once a month, once a week, once a year, probably not, once a quarter. And if it's a really good video and it's consistent, YouTube is gonna prefer that over posting 4 videos in a week and then not doing anything for a month, right? That's inconsistent and they don't like it. This is what we're gonna cover. We are gonna cover your niche and your offer and your positioning. This is important because if you don't get this right, then everything else will not work. Then we're gonna talk about the funnel strategy, looking at videos as a funnel system, right? People don't know who you are. You wanna introduce yourself to them. You want to prove that you have mastery in your craft. And then you want to show that you have gotten results for other people. So these are the 3 steps of the funnel. Then we're gonna go into part 3 and talk about how to create those different types of videos, the 3 different types of videos. Then we're gonna talk about the algorithm, optimization, how to get views. We'll talk about thumbnails and stuff there. Then in part 5, we're gonna talk about the system, right? So here we're gonna talk about all the things that maybe you think are important and maybe are not as important as you think they are. For example, what cameras should you use? What editing equipment should you use? How to film yourself, right? I have about 3 or 4 high-dollar cameras. And one of the things that I'm doing right now with my YouTube channel is that I am filming with some of the lower quality cameras just to show you guys that you don't need high quality equipment to start your YouTube channel or even to run it. Right here on this camera, it's a iPhone. I'm literally shooting on an iPhone 17. This camera over here is like a small webcam. It's not gonna be the best picture quality. And my point is, you think that's important and it's really not, right? People don't care. They care more, they care a little bit more for my channel because I'm saying I'm gonna make you YouTube videos, right? But I'm also doing this to prove a point to you. You don't actually need, it's not that important, right? You have an iPhone, you have a medium quality webcam, and you just have some presentation software. And I'm actually going above and beyond what you need to be doing. So in part 6, we're gonna talk about CTAs. What should you be asking your viewers to do? When should you be asking them to do it, etc. And then we'll just wrap it up in part 7, okay? So module 1. Your positioning, your framework, your offer, right? It's very likely that if you're watching this, you know exactly what your offer is. Or if somebody were to try to hire you, if I were to ask you, what do you do and who do you do it for and how are you different? You could tell me in like 10 minutes, right? And yet maybe you're not running your YouTube channel that way, or maybe you are. So this is the most important thing you will do in regards to your YouTube channel strategy. There are 3 questions you need to answer in order to get through this. Who do you serve? What problem do you solve? And how are you different? If you can't answer all three clearly, your channel will struggle to gain traction and convert viewers into clients. So let's dive in. Who do you serve? All right. You don't want to be broad here. This video is a complete guide, right? So some of this stuff you may already know, you may have already dealt with. And if you have, you can skip ahead. But this is a complete guide. Somebody who knows nothing can come in here and watch this video and have all the information that they need to be successful. So the mistake, being too broad and trying to appeal to everyone. Example, I help entrepreneurs, I help business owners, I help creators. The fix, get razor sharp and specific about your ideal client. I help online course creators making $5,000 to $20,000 a month, right? This is better. I help local service businesses with 5 to 15 employees. I help YouTubers with 10 to 100,000 subs trying to monetize. Why this matters. Specific positioning naturally attracts the right people who resonate with your message and actively repels those who are not a fit. This may seem counterintuitive, but you actually don't want people who are not a fit booking sales calls with you. It's gonna waste your time, right? So we wanna actually repel people. Not because we don't like them, right? We like people, but we wanna repel people from our channel who are not a right fit. Question 2, what problem do you solve? The mistake, vague outcomes that don't speak to real pain points, right? This is the so what test, right? So this is what I do. And you want to be able to answer the question from your client's perspective. So what? You do it, so what? So what, why should I care, right? That's what your client wants to know. So you do that, so what? So why should I care? Help them grow, improve their business, be more successful, so what, right? The fix, name the specific intangible problems you alleviate. So break through their revenue ceiling, generate consistent sales calls without paid ads, turn their channel into a client acquisition machine. Why this matters. People don't buy growth or improvement, they buy solutions to specific, often painful problems they are actively experiencing. If they're not actively aware in the present of the pain that they're experiencing and the pain that this problem is causing them, they're not actually gonna buy anyway. Question number 3. How are you different? The mistake. Generic claims that could apply to anyone. I'm the best. I care more. I have more experience, right? I mean, anyone can say this, right? So the fix. Highlight your unique mechanism, approach, or methodology. So using your YouTube as your primary lead generation channel with a proven 90-day content funnel system without expensive ads or complicated funnels, right? These are more interesting. Why it matters. If your approach sounds identical to your competitors, you'll be lost in the noise and your unique differentiator is your competitive edge. So let's put it together. Here is a weak positioning. I help entrepreneurs grow their business and make more money. Here's a strong positioning, and you'll notice it has all 3 elements. So I help online course creators making 5 to 20K a month, right? Who? What? Break through their revenue ceiling. Question 2. Question 3. Using YouTube as their primary lead generation channel. This could actually even be better because I'm not telling you how much money I'm gonna make you, but it's good. It's much better than what most people do. Notice the difference. You know exactly who it's for. You know what specific problem it solves, right? You're breaking through the revenue ceiling, and you know how it gets accomplished using YouTube as the primary lead generation channel. And there are reasons that's attractive, and you would go into that in your channel. The positioning test. Read your positioning statement out loud and honestly ask yourself these 3 questions. Does it exclude 90% of people? If it does, that's great. It's nice and narrow. Would your ideal client say, that's me, without hesitation? If not, get more specific. Different from competitors. Is it distinctly different from your competitors? If not, refine your unique angle. And this can even be, you can differentiate with a guarantee, right? So I will get you X result in 90 days or you don't pay. That can be effective, although people still need to believe in your mechanism, right? It needs to make sense to them because people also have limited time. So I'm gonna waste your time for 90 days and then give you your money back is not as appealing as it used to be. It can be if you're creating an asset that they believe in and they get to keep it either way. So it depends, but there's a lot of ways you can differentiate. Why this matters for your channel. Strong positioning means your video topics practically write themselves. Your titles and thumbnails are laser focused. Your CTAs convert better because you're speaking directly to their specific problem. And your channel grows faster. right? Because you're not all over the place. So YouTube knows exactly who to serve your videos to. Weak positioning means you make random videos, hoping something eventually sticks. Your audience is confused about your channel's purpose. Your CTAs fall flat because you're not addressing a specific need, and the algorithm struggles to recommend your videos to the right audience. So it's like exercise. Write your positioning statement. So here's a little homework for you. Get out a piece of paper and write down your positioning statement, okay? Here's what you want to do. So I help landscaping contractors, right? Current state, who are struggling to make 10K a month. I don't think landscapers have that problem, but achieve consistent 30K in revenue per month, right? Using your unique approach, using cold email outreach. This could be how you would fill this in. Example, I help online course creators who are stuck at 5 to 20K a month achieve consistent 50K plus months using YouTube as their primary lead generation channel. Take 5 minutes right now and write yours. Be brutally honest and specific. So here's 5 common positioning mistakes. Trying to serve everyone. Anyone can benefit from my content. And while this may be true, probably isn't. But while it may be true, it's not going to work. You need to get specific. It's too much noise on the internet. Mistake number 2, copying someone else's positioning. I'll just do what so-and-so does. They already own the space. You need your own unique angle and you need your voice to stand. This is why the offer is so important, because if you get the offer right, then your positioning, your YouTube online positioning will also be unique. So it's all about the offer. Mistake 3, changing your positioning every month. It's not working, let me try something else, right? Reality is it takes 5 to 12 months of consistent effort to gain traction. Stick with your chosen niche. If you have a really good system, for example, if I'm working with you or someone else, or you know what you're doing, you can get some traction in 3 to 4 months for sure, especially if you're established and you're just looking to get yourself out there on YouTube, but you're already an established company or you're an established person in your niche. You can move a little bit faster. But the channel itself, yeah, maybe 6 to 12 months. Your positioning evolves, but start narrow. This is you. If I'm working with you, this is you. If you're watching this video, this is you. You need to be extremely narrow, and your focus on YouTube needs to be defined by your offer. Okay, there is 10K to 100K. You're having a lot of employees here, and you might even be having your own media person on staff. So this is not really what we're talking about. And this is like, we're getting into, what is this? This is like Vanessa Lau territory. This is beyond the scope of this specific training. So you could have 500 subs and you'd be making 50K a month, right? If your funnel is on point and if your offer is really dialed in. So subs don't really matter so much. Here's some real world positioning examples. And again, these are pretty big accounts. And even so, they have some pretty defined, dialed in positioning, right? Minimalism and intentional living for creative professionals, still really broad. YouTube growth strategies for coaches and consultants. And a lot of times when you think about YouTube, you're looking at accounts like this because those are the accounts that you watch, right? This is not what you want to do, especially if you're just starting off. You're looking to define your offer and build a channel around your specific offer or your service. You don't want people showing up to your channel who are not right for your service. It's a waste of time. It's confusing to the algorithm. It's just noise on your channel, right? We're not interested in that. So don't make a YouTube channel based on the people that you watch, right? Those are people who are selling to you. They're not selling to the people you serve. So here's the action step. Nail your positioning. Write your statement. Use the provided framework to draft your positioning statement. Apply the 3 questions: who, what, how. Gather feedback. Share your statement with 3 people in your target audience and ask if it sounds like, does this sound like you? Right? If they hesitate or don't immediately connect, go back and refine your positioning. Now we're going to talk about the content funnel and specifically the strategy behind it and how it kind of works. I'm not going to show you in this module how to create a video within that funnel. I just want to give you a broad understanding of how the funnel works and how it kind of all fits together. Most creators think in terms of videos. Successful creators think in terms of viewer journeys. This is how YouTube works. It's how it thinks. So if let's say somebody shows up on your page, they get to a video on your page because you posted about something to a broader audience. You know, you posted something like 5 reasons why your YouTube channel isn't getting views and how to fix, right? So they found that, and then you link that to another video, and then they watch another video, and let's say they watch 5 videos, and they're on your channel for 35 minutes, right? They're not watching the whole video, but they do 35 minutes spread across 5 or 6 videos on your channel. That is considered a viewer journey, and that is what YouTube cares about. It does not care about specific videos, really. We have 3 stages of the viewer journey. There's top of funnel, which is awareness. There's middle of funnel, which is nurture. And there's the bottom of funnel, which is conversion, right? In awareness, you are talking to people who don't know you exist yet. You solve a broad common problem, and you're serving, not selling. The middle is for subscribers, returning viewers. Goal is to build trust and prove expertise, right? You want to demonstrate that you can do what you say you can do. After they watch these kinds of videos, they may not know if they want to hire you, but they are sure that you can do what they would want to hire you for if they had the money, or if, et cetera, right? They may not know that you can get results doing the thing you know how to do, but they know you can do it, right? This guy knows how to do cold email because I've seen him do it. And then bottom of the funnel is conversion, right? This is where you show that you can get results, right? You have client interviews and you have case studies. So 12 video funnel matrix, right? 40% of these videos that we want to do are going to be top of funnel. 40% are middle of funnel. 20% are bottom of the funnel. This is a good mix for the initial 12 videos. And this is what I would design for you if I was designing your channel or setting things up for you. Top of the funnel video examples. 5 reasons your YouTube channel isn't getting views and how to fix. And these things are very important at the end, right? Because these answer the so what question. The biggest mistake coaches make when starting on YouTube, and what to do instead. How to get your first 1,000 subscribers without paid ads, right? Addresses a broader problem, requires no prior knowledge of you, highly searchable topics, low commitment to watch. Example, 5 best email tools. This is a top of funnel, right? This is a guy's channel. You can see he kind of has it right here, all these top of funnel videos. He's doing Apollo, he's doing Clay for beginners, right? He may not even use these tools, but these are a way that he's reaching out to his target audience, discussing a broader topic. Middle of funnel video examples. Step-by-step guide to scripting a high converting video, right? This is a video you would make if you do this kind of thing for clients. You're showing them that you know how to do the thing that you're telling them how to do without them having to hire you to see whether you know how to do it. How to build a content calendar that actually gets results. The exact funnel strategy I use for my clients, right? These are middle of the funnel videos, and they demonstrate competency. They are more detailed and tactical, assumes the viewer is already interested in the topic, builds authority and trust, longer watch time acceptable, right? This could be exact, I don't know what. The exact cold email system I use to get clients, right? And I have a link there to this video, okay? This is middle of the funnel. Bottom of funnel video examples. How we generate 50 plus sales calls per month for our clients, right? Sort of. Inside look, what it's like to work with our team. Key characteristics, direct discussion of your services. Proof and results focused, and that's the main thing, right? Really bottom of the funnel is proof and results focused. They have a clear call to action and it targets decision makers. This client wins playlist here, that's all this is, right? 62 meetings in 60 days, 10 meetings in 10 days, right? 37 meetings generated. Results. The viewer journey flow, connecting the dots. Viewer discovers you through a top of funnel video. They subscribe, they watch middle of funnel video. Maybe they download a lead magnet or watch a bottom of the funnel video next. And then, oh, this guy really knows what he's doing. Look, he got this result for this guy and this result for this other guy and this result for this other guy. Maybe I should book a call with him. Okay, so this is how the funnel works. Every video should guide viewers to the next step in the journey. Okay, this is kind of a funny example because I would never work for Alex Hormozi doing what I do. He's in a completely different league, and so his strategy should be different, but I just thought it was funny and kind of interesting to include because even somebody at his level uses a variation of this strategy, right? Watch this to get your next 5 customers, right? Broad problem. 1.2 million followers in 6 months, my exact strategy, middle of funnel. I built 4 businesses in a row to show it's not luck, right? Proof. So on some level, everybody uses this. We're just gonna be a lot more dialed in what we're doing here. So we're continuing to talk in module 3 about the 3 types of authority content, but in this section, I'm going to talk about how to actually create them and what they need to include. Pillar 1, how-to content, top of funnel, building viewer confidence, awareness, the psychology. When viewers get a small win from your video, they trust you more. This content builds confidence and creates a dopamine hit. So how to script. You need to include these 5 things in your script, right? And I would even argue that you should probably have a CTA here as well. We'll get into that later. So you should have 2 CTAs. The reason being, and I'll talk about this later, most viewers only go about 30% of the way through a video. So you want to catch them before they bounce. So you need the promise, you need the tool or requirement list, you need step 1, step 2, step 3, step how many ever steps, and then the result and the closing CTA. Like if you enjoyed watching me solve this problem, here's a longer video where I go into more detail about that. And that would be like a middle of the funnel video. Let's see how this looks in action. Yeah, so here's a title. How to write a high converting YouTube title in 5 minutes, okay? Here's the promise. By the end of this video, you'll have a proven formula for titles that get clicks, okay? Tools, right? All you need is a Google Doc and your video topic, okay? Then I would have a CTA here. We'll talk about CTAs later. Steps, step 1, start with the benefit your viewer will get. Step 2, add a curiosity element. Step 3, test it with the so what filter. And then result. Now, so this is at the end of the video. Now you have a title that will outperform 90% of your competitors. And then you have your second CTA. Want to complete the video optimization checklist? Link in description, right? So then you would have like a checklist underneath. They can download and use your system, you know, this piece of your system. I recommend not scripting the body of the video. I recommend having points like this because if it's something that you have a high degree of proficiency in, it's better, it sounds better if you just talk about it. And if you have your points here to help you kind of navigate through it, and then make sure that your promise and your hook and all that stuff are scripted. But for the body of the video, I would just have bullet points. And really that's for most of your videos, with the exception of maybe client interviews, and that has a different structure, and we'll talk about that later. Educational, why content, positioning yourself as the authority, nurture. Okay, the psychology is to separate yourself from gurus, right? You're not somebody out there offering advice that anybody can offer. You're showing them how to do an actual thing that they need done. The why, bridge, what framework, right? The why, start with a bold strategic claim. This will be your hook, okay? The bridge, explain the data, case study, or reasoning. The what, tell them what to do with this knowledge or what to do instead. And then use bullet points rather than word for word scripting. Sometimes this can even be you just saying, I'm gonna show you how I do this. And then you do a screen share and you show them you doing it. That would fit into this structure here. Example, why consistency beats quality when you're starting out. If you're just starting out on YouTube, posting consistently is 10 times more important than making perfect videos, right? That's the claim. Here's why. The YouTube algorithm rewards channels that publish regularity. Plus, you can't improve what you don't practice. Your 50th video will be better than your 5th, guaranteed, right? Here's what to do. Commit to 1 video per week for 90 days, even if they're not perfect. Focus on reps, not perfection. And then you're gonna have your bullet points underneath where you're talking about how to do whatever it is that you are showing them how to do. Or maybe you're doing a screen share. Pillar 3, proof, bottom of funnel. Conversion, right? This is where you're showing them, I know how to get results. This is the so what of your entire channel, right? I got this guy this result. I got this other guy this result. So I can get the same results for you. It overcomes the will this work for me objection. It allows viewers to see themselves in success stories. So there are 2 things you can do. You can do a case study and you can do a client interview. For a case study, we're gonna use the PAST formula, right? P-A-S-T. There's problem, there's action, there's solution, and there's testimonial. Detail the situation before, describe the specific steps taken, show the state after with metrics, and include a powerful quote or clip if you have it. Here's an example. Channel name was a business coach with an incredible offer but 0 online presence. They were relying 100% on referrals and had maxed out their network. We implemented the same exact system I'm teaching you today. 4 top of funnel videos to build awareness, 5 middle of funnel videos to nurture, and 3 bottom of funnel videos to convert. Solution. In 6 months, they grew to 50,000 subscribers and started generating 30 to 40 qualified sales calls per month directly from YouTube. And then this is the quote, right, or whatever. This changed my entire business. I went from chasing clients to having them come to me. And then, right? Ideally, better than that, you can actually do a client interview and just tell me how much more effective this is when you just look at these thumbnails, right? There's you. There's the person you helped. There's you, there's the person you helped. There's you, there's the person you helped, right? Why this works better than case studies. Client tells their story in their own words, their authentic and unscripted reactions. Viewers see and hear the transformation. It builds trust through third-party validation, right? You're not just making a claim. Somebody can say, you just fabricated these results, right? You made this in Canva, whatever. With a testimonial, you have the third party saying it in their own words. So it's obvious. If you're gonna do this, do not use Zoom. Use riverside.fm. And I'm gonna probably include down below a little asset, but while we're at it, I'm just gonna go through this. So very quickly, how to do a client interview, right? Interview flow, pre-roll. Before you hit record, small talk to relax them for 5 minutes. This is something that I do even when I make my own videos. I look at the script and I'll probably talk through the first 5 minutes or so to myself on camera just to warm up. So you want to relax them. This is going to be great. Just be yourself. If you mess up, pause, start again. I'll edit it out. There are no wrong answers, right? Get them talking about something that's completely unrelated to what you're going to be discussing. So intro on camera, and this can even, the intro you could even do without them. Depends on how you want to cut this together. Today I'm joined by my client who, brief description of the transformation, client name. Thanks for being here, right? Who used our system to go from 20K a month to 30K a month in 7 weeks, right? And then you go to questions. So take me back to X months ago. What was going on in your business and your life? So you let them talk, right? Follow up. How did that make you feel, right? Feelings are important. We want people that are watching to attach their problem with how it makes them feel. Follow up. What have you already tried, right? Follow up with them. What made you decide to work with me? Why now? Listen for their objection. What almost stopped you from saying yes? Question 3, walk me through what it was like working together. And then let them just talk, right? Was there a moment where things clicked? What results have you seen? Be as specific as you can. Make sure before the interview they come with numbers, right? Just let them know. You can even provide them. If you're doing the work for them, you should know these. Follow up. How has that changed your day-to-day life? If someone is watching this and they're where you were X months ago, what would you say to them, right? Let them say it in their own words. Then wrap it up, thank them for sharing their story in the recording, etc., right? Let them finish their thoughts, nod and react naturally, ask follow-up questions, pause for 2 seconds after they finish, right? You want to give yourself some spaces for you to cut and edit. Ask them to repeat an answer if it wasn't clear. Do not read questions like a robot. Do not rush them, do not talk over them, do not correct them mid-answer, do not make it feel like an interrogation. Okay, 3 content pillar review. We need the how-to videos, right? The why videos, and the proof videos. Why are we doing all this? Because we want to make our clients more money, or ourselves more money. In module 4, we're going to talk about how to get the right views. You do not want people who are not right for your offer watching your videos, because it's a waste of their time and it's a waste of your time. So when we talk about the algorithm in this context, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about how to blow up your channel from 0 to 1 million. I'm talking about how to optimize your channel for the exact viewers that are ready to buy your service. All right, we talked about this earlier. The YouTube algorithm doesn't care about you. It cares about viewers. Unless you are talking about free birthing at home, or you're talking about how the polio vaccine actually gives you AIDS, or some other crazy thing that people don't want you talking about. But if you're just providing a service, YouTube doesn't care. So its only job is to keep people on the platform as long as possible. That is why we use the funnel system, right? We want to connect people from, hi, how's it going? Hi, how are you? Here's this thing that you were probably searching for. Let me just solve it for you really quick, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Oh, and if you want to go into more detail, here's this other video that I made that's like really me getting into it, right? That's the middle of funnel. Oh, you just watched me do this? Oh, look, I made this guy like 20K over here in 6 months. You want to watch that, right? We're keeping them in the funnel. We're keeping them watching. YouTube likes that, and also it pre-screens people, right? If they're not right, they're going to stop watching. If they are looking for what you have to offer, then it should logically take them to booking a call with you. So let's talk about title and thumbnail psychology. Viewers make a split-second decision. It's less than 3 seconds when they look at a thumbnail. The only time somebody clicks on a thumbnail that's terrible is if it's the only one that's coming up in search, right? Otherwise, they're going to click on the one that looks better, that has a better thumbnail. So we're talking about thumbnail and title at the same time, right? Yes, title and thumbnail. Your title and thumbnail must answer that question instantly, right? Benefit plus curiosity gap. This simple script generated 10K in 30 days. I'll show you how, right? The YouTube strategy that tripled my sales calls, step by step. I analyzed 100 viral videos. Here's what they all have in common, right? If we're talking about thumbnails, you want to have before and after, and you want to have the unique mechanism, right? In this case, it's Photoshop. So this thumbnail is selling me Photoshop, and it's saying, this is what it looked like before, this is what it looked like after, and you know what you need really to do that? It's Photoshop. And my brain can look at this and figure that out in about half a second. And that's what a good thumbnail is. Best practices, generally, you want high contrast colors. You want an expressive face. You don't need to look like Mr. Beast. You should have an expression. You should have some kind of an emotion. Minimal, large text. 3 to 4 words max. You don't even need words. And the words on your thumbnail don't necessarily need to be, and shouldn't be actually, the same as your title. Real world examples, what he does. So this is what you're gonna do. Before, after, and the mechanism, which is the thing that you're selling or the thing that you're showing them how to do. For the thumbnail, people should know what it's about in under 2 seconds. Really, it's like half a second, and they're gonna think that they know, whether they know or not. These are great thumbnails, right? Before, after. So this first thumbnail follows this strategy, right? 3 to 4 words. You don't have before and after because in this case, it's an interview, right? So you have the interviewee and you have you, and then you've got basically what you did for them in the middle, right? This is a twist on the formula, but it still works. The second thumbnail is great, but what do I not have here? I do not have the mechanism, right? So nobody knows, right? He's got a cell phone, he's sad, and then he's got money raining down, right? How? So the thumbnail doesn't tell me a lot, right? It needs to have also the mechanism. Perfect video description. Your description is prime real estate for SEO and conversions. So this is where you're gonna also use a tool, and I'm gonna get into that later. So what we also wanna do, and we wanna include in our videos, we wanna include timestamps, right? We wanna have a description template or a description underneath the video because this helps us with SEO. So these are basically the elements that you wanna have in that, right? You wanna have the hook, which repeats the video's promise and includes your main keyword. You wanna have the CTA, right? We talked about having the CTA in your video, but also in the description. You wanna have timestamps, right? Chapters. These are where your bullet points for your video would be in the video, but you also wanna have them timestamped in the description. 2 to 3 paragraphs rich with keywords and context, and a final section with links, social media, and other resources. Tags and keywords. Tags are less important than they used to be, but they still matter. I would recommend vidIQ for that. You can use TubeMagic, it's more expensive. I don't think it's as good as vidIQ. For search, you can use YouTube's autocomplete option. So when you're searching, if you start typing in the search bar, let's say cold email, and you stop, it'll show you a lot of the top performing searches because it'll want to autocomplete and it'll show you those options down below. Use your exact title as the first tag, okay? Add 5 to 10 variations of your main keyword, include broader category tags, and add your brand name. So this is vidIQ. You can just sign up with your email, and I think it's like $20 a month or something. You can do keyword searches here. So if I do cold email, it's gonna give me a bunch of searches related to cold email. The higher this number is over here, you've got related score, search volume, competition, overall. Under overall, you want that number to be high, right? So 64, 60, 67, those are green. You want the competition to be low, and you want search volume to be high. That generally will get you a good score. So for example, cold email outreach as a keyword has a high search volume, 31,000. It's got low competition scores, so an overall score of 67. This would be a great keyword to save, right? So part 5, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the entire system. We're gonna talk about editing, equipment, filming, scheduling, the whole system, all right? The mistake most people make, they create one video at a time whenever they feel inspired, right? This is gonna be a burnout. You're gonna have burnout. The solution, build a system that makes consistency inevitable, not optional. That's why I say I recommend doing 1 video a week, right? People get excited and they're like, I'm gonna make 2 videos, I'm gonna make 3 videos. 1 video a week for a year is a good pace, okay? You've got 52 videos and you've got consistency. So Module A, Part 5A and 5C, we're going to talk about filming, equipment, and editing. All right, let's go over there and do that right now. So equipment and editing and filming will be here as well. Equipment myth. You don't need a $10,000 in gear to start. In fact, obsessing over equipment is one of the biggest reasons people never launch their channel. Okay, as I said before, I'm using an iPhone right here, and over here, I'm actually using a DJI Mini as a webcam, right? So I've got more expensive cameras. I've got a Canon over here, sitting right here, but I decided to use some of these more accessible videos for this training just to let you guys know that you don't need a fancy camera. So let's talk about equipment, right? So you have options for camera, right? As I said, I'm using my iPhone for one of these cameras. For my straight on shot here, it's just an iPhone. I'm just using the front camera right here, and it's great. So you can see yourself, you don't have to like flip it around and then have the display somewhere else. Option B, you can use a Logitech, right? Just a webcam, right? Plug and play. It's gonna go directly into your computer. Or you can get a mirrorless. You're gonna spend $500, $1,500, right? You don't need this, right? I have one, it's sitting right over there, and I'm not using it for this video just to demonstrate that I don't need a fancy camera to give people valuable information. Audio, okay? I would argue this is maybe more important than video. Viewers will tolerate mediocre video quality, but they leave if your audio is bad, okay? So right now I'm actually using the inbuilt mic on my iMac because it's good and I've tested it and it works for this video. These are some other options. You can have a wired lavalier mic. These are your price points. So there's the Rode Smart Lav, around a $50 option. You can do a USB microphone, Blue Yeti, Audio Technica. You can do wireless lavalier. These are really nice. I use one of these sometimes when I'm recording out and about on my iPhone because it plugs directly into the, in fact, I'm just gonna show you. It plugs directly into the iPhone, right? You have like this little piece here that clips onto your shirt, and then you have this little piece here that just plugs into the bottom of your iPhone, and you just talk. Lighting. So you need good lighting, right? Ideally, you can just use natural lighting. You have a window over here, it's a nice day, the sun is not going behind a cloud and coming out from behind a cloud and going behind a cloud and out from behind a cloud. So you can get consistent lighting all day. Today it's overcast, so I'm able to have consistent lighting. But I've got a window right here and I've got a camera right there, right? So this works. You can do a ring light, 30 to 80 bucks. I don't recommend a ring light. It's okay, especially if you wear glasses, people are gonna see the ring light. If you really wanna spend on lights, you should probably just get a softbox, right? But again, you can just set next to a window and you can get daylight and you should be fine. $500 setup versus the $5,000 setup. This is an example of a starter setup. You've got your smartphone, you've got a smart lav, you've got natural light, editing software, right? iMovie or DaVinci Resolve. Actually, there's better ones. You can actually just use CapCut. There's CapCut for free. You can spend like 10 bucks a month to use CapCut, right? I'm using this tripod, right? This is my phone. And this is probably 25 bucks, right? On Amazon. And I don't even need to do this. I wanted to just have a straight on cam for today. So I'm being fancy, right? You don't need that. You could spend 5K, right? Manfrotto tripod, like why? Unless you're going on location somewhere. It's a nice tripod, but why? The truth, 500 bucks will get you 90% of the results. Honestly, you could probably show me what you have in your office and I could show you how to set up a video for $0 based on what you already have and already own. All this fancy stuff usually takes time to learn how to use for fractionally better result. This is another good point, right? Like, so first of all, I wanted to use these cheaper options, this webcam and this iPhone right here, just to show you that you don't need to have a more expensive option. Number two, and the more selfish reason why I didn't want to use it today is because I do have a DSLR, a mirrorless. It's a Canon. It looks great. It's an R8. It's a lot more labor intensive to set up and I know how to do it. So I can just pop that there. I can just pop this here and I can just start to shoot, right? So how much time do you want to waste on all this stuff? People watch your video. If you have good audio, people watch your video because you solve a problem for them. That's it. It's the so what filter. People click on your video, they say, so what? And if there's not a good answer, they're not gonna watch it. It doesn't matter how good your video is. Okay, so let's talk about editing. If you want to edit for yourself, this is what you're going to get into. If you've never edited before, your first videos are going to take you forever. They're not going to take you forever, but they're going to feel like they're going to take you forever. These are like some made-up examples of how quickly you can learn to edit. And it also depends on how long your video is, right? You're going to learn keyboard shortcuts. You're going to figure out a good workflow that works for you. You'll not honestly care about every cut after you've done a couple of these. You just really care that it makes sense. Your videos need to be watchable, not perfect. Perfection kills consistency. Just get it done. Just put the webcam, put your iPhone, and shoot the thing. Software options, okay, for editing. iMovie, this is already on your Mac if you have a Mac, so you can just use it. I will say you should be careful about using this after you've done several videos. The way that iMovie stores videos on your computer, it like double stores the footage and the video. So you're gonna have to regularly go in and like clean out your files unless you have a giant ass hard drive. And even then it's pointless. So like once you edit a video, you should just delete it. Like save the finished product and then just delete all the clips and clean that out. iMovie is a great option to get started if you have a Mac. DaVinci Resolve is fairly inexpensive. It has different shortcuts though, so if you're used to using iMovie, I would not suggest to go to Resolve right away. Paid options, Descript. Descript is actually very good, and for a few dollars a month. Descript actually has an option where you can take out all of the ums and uhs and all the gaps in your video by clicking 1 or 2 or 3 buttons, right? So I'm not gonna walk you through and like open up all of these editing softwares and show you how to use each one exactly. Each of them will come with a tutorial and show you how to do basic editing, and that's really all you're doing. You're just cutting out the pauses and making sure that if you had to start over or if you had to restate something, that you edit out the take that you don't want. It's very basic. Adobe Premiere, again, this is similar to DaVinci Resolve. They're gonna have similar shortcuts. And then Final Cut Pro is like $300 one time. It's basically just iMovie, but like more fancy. It's the same shortcuts and everything. If you're just starting off, honestly, I would just go with Descript or something like that. It's very easy. Okay, the 5-step editing workflow. Number 1, cut dead air and mistakes. So you're just gonna go through one time and cut the dead air. Like I said, with the script, it's very easy. You're just gonna cut the ums, you're gonna cut the long pauses. Maybe you were looking at your notes and you need to like think for a minute, and so you paused. You can just cut that out. And mistakes. So the mistakes happen. If you're recording, you're gonna like trip on your words and you're just gonna start back over very often, and you just cut that out. Number 2, add an intro and an outro. As you get into this, you may have a branded intro, you may have an outro. I personally think that these kind of things make people click off of your video, but you will want to add linked videos at some point. You'll want it in screen when you upload it into YouTube. So there's going to be some stuff like that. Maybe you have B-roll or screen recordings. I recommend actually for screen recordings and for screen presentations that you use OBS, which is a free software. It's what I use. And that way, when I'm showing you stuff, I'm like showing you in real time. And I have on one side, I have the video where I'm presenting, and on the other side, I have the presentation, and it's all happening in real time. You can use auto captions in YouTube or Descript. Descript is very good. You may want to use the Descript captions because they're gonna actually look better than YouTube and you can edit them. Descript will use its AI to auto-generate captions, and then you just go through and you fix them. Sometimes they'll put like a whole paragraph on one page, right? And you wanna spread them out. Or sometimes it will think you said one word and you said something else. So you just have to fix that, but this is very quick, right? And it's true, people watch longer if they can read as well. So I recommend doing the captions in Descript and then just turning off captions in YouTube. Export and upload, right? Okay, so step 5, so you've got 1080p, MP4, H.267 codec. This is like, you're not ever gonna whatever. 1080p, right? Upload to YouTube, add title, add description, add tags, do your thumbnail, which we already covered, and then schedule. So find a good posting time and schedule it. One of the things that you can do when you get really good at this is if you have all of your ideas lined up, you can have a filming day and actually film like 3 or 4, right? At the beginning of the month, maybe you want to film all 4 on one day because you want to get your lighting and your setup and everything. You're going to film 4 of these. They're going to be 15 minutes each. So you're going to spend 2 or 3 hours filming. You're going to throw all of the raw footage into a hard drive or into a folder. You're going to edit it, and then just, you want to spend 1 day filming, you want to spend 1 day editing, you want to upload them all, and then you just want to have them trickle out all month, and you don't have to think about it, and you can go back to doing your work or delivering for clients or whatever else you need to do. Advanced editing tips. So jump cuts. The more you jump cuts, the more you zoom in and zoom out, it's going to keep people more engaged. I would say at the beginning, don't worry about that. That's why this is called advanced editing tips. You can zoom in for emphasis or you can bump in for emphasis, right? And you can do this in an editing software. You can literally just like crop it in. iMovie is really good with this. On-screen text, maybe you have some graphics, things like that you can add. Once you get good at this, and editing just a regular video is like, okay, I'm just going through the motions. This is really easy and fast. You can start to do things like this. Music and sound effects. Music can be really good. It can kind of help people move people along. I like to bring the music volume down to like 6 or 7, right? You want it to be there, but you don't want people to be distracted. So it's almost subconscious. Chapter markers, add timestamps to your description. We talked about that before, but that's great for SEO, and it helps people, like if they know already some of the things you're teaching or they think they know, they can just skip ahead without having to like scrub through the video. Another option is you can outsource editing, right? Maybe you want to do your first 10 videos by yourself, and after that consider outsourcing, or maybe you want to do outsourcing from the beginning, right? If you do a few yourself first, you learn what makes a good edit, you develop your style and pacing, and it can give you better feedback to editors later, right? So you're not just some guy who knows nothing about editing saying words to an editor. Outsourcing, of course, makes you more consistent, takes time, right? So when you can do it, just outsource it. I would just outsource editing. Fiverr, Freelancer, Upwork, there are specialized YouTube editor agencies. They're going to be more expensive. You can hire a dedicated editor. That's going to be more expensive. You do not want to over edit. Too many effects, too much music is distracting, as I said earlier. Look at the audio levels, make sure nothing's peaking. Watch the video at least once, maybe twice, just to make sure you didn't miss anything. You know what you're trying to say, so you might miss some things. People who haven't seen your video don't know what it's about, so it's good to watch it. You want to edit your video so it's clear. Cut things out, right? Be ruthless. If it doesn't help the audience, just cut it out. If you want to buy something, if you really want to just go buy a nice little package of stuff that you can get and not have to think about it or not have to worry about it, this is what I would do. You can get a camera, you can get a mic, you can get lights, you can get a teleprompter, and I would go with the script. And if you want to outsource, this is a great spot to find outsourcing. I'm gonna put this document in the description so you can look at all this. Now I want to talk about filming yourself. This is gonna be a confidence thing, right? You just got to do it. It's gonna feel awkward at first. Even now, I had other careers before this one even where I did a lot of camera work, and you're gonna have to warm up, man. It's not natural to like stare into a camera or to talk into a camera. And if you've never done it before, you're just gonna have to make some videos. What you're probably thinking, I don't know what to do with my hands. I sound weird on camera. I look awkward. I keep forgetting what to say. Here's the truth. Every single successful YouTuber felt this way. If they didn't when they were starting their channel, they did when they learned the skill somewhere else. First couple of videos, you may be extremely uncomfortable. Maybe after 6 to 15, you're still awkward, but you're getting used to it. 16 to 30, you're starting to feel natural. And eventually you're gonna forget it's there, right? Especially if you're using the same setup and there's not all of this friction every time you go and film. If you can have a setup and just leave it, this is what I recommend, because every time, if you're taking your setup down and then putting it back up every time that you have to film, it's just friction. It's gonna keep you from wanting to film regularly. You cannot think your way to camera confidence. You just have to do it, right? It's like going to the gym. You just need reps. The one person mindset, right? You're not talking to an audience. People try to talk to an audience. They want to talk big, whatever. You should be like you're in your living room having coffee with your best friend, right? You can tell me if this is what I'm doing now, but like you're talking to your best friend about something you are excited about, right? So it's not like you're talking about the weather, right? There is a level of your voice that is excited. You're excited, but you're not speaking to a whole audience, right? You're having a coffee. If you try to speak to an audience, this is what happens, right? You're stiff, you have presentation voice, you lose authenticity, connection. If you're talking to one person, it's better, right? It's like you're talking to a friend, past version of yourself who needed this information, a client you really helped, right? Some things you can do to help yourself with this. Put a sticky note with a smiley face next to your camera lens. Name your person, right? I'm talking to Sarah, I'm talking to whoever. Speak conversationally like you're having a coffee, right? I said that. Your delivery becomes natural and warm and relatable. Viewers feel like they're talking directly to them because you are, right? Experiment. Record 10 seconds in presentation mode versus one person mode. So if you've never recorded yourself on camera, this is something to try, right? Just do it badly first, right? On purpose, and then do it in one person mode, and it takes some of the pressure off. Ask, how do I talk to a friend? YouTube is a one-to-one medium, not one-to-many, right? It should feel as if someone is sitting in your living room with you or studio and having a coffee with you, and you're just like telling them some stuff that you know, right? You're giving them some sauce, as they say. Framing and composition basics. How you frame yourself on camera dramatically impacts how professional your video looks. Rule of thirds. So here's the rule of thirds. Imagine your frame is divided into 3x3 grid. Position your eyes at the top horizontal line. Place yourself slightly off center. This creates visual interest and it feels natural. So I've got more of that going on here. I've really got like the thirds here and I'm kind of in the center. With this setup over here, what's happening is that I've got it arranged so that I'm sitting here so that I can read the presentation with you, and you also kind of feel like you're having a chat with me, but we're both looking at the presentation. So I'm kind of breaking the rule a little bit here while also following the spirit of what it's designed to create. Eye level. Your camera should be at eye level or slightly above. Never film below. Look into the camera, right? Don't look. So for example, when I'm filming on my iPhone, if I'm looking at the screen, it has me actually looking over here, right? So I can't look at, if I look at myself in the camera, it's gonna, I'm talking to, who am I talking to? I have to look at the camera right here. I have to look at the lens. And if I look at the lens, then I'm talking to you guys, right? So what you can do when you're filming is you can take a look at the words and you can say, let's see, it says, leave a small amount of space above your head. So I can go, leave a small amount of space above your head. Too much headroom and you look small or lost. too little headroom, and you look cramped or claustrophobic, right? Then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna edit all this together. And I'm gonna cut out those pauses and it's gonna look like I just delivered it. So that's another way you can do it if you're doing a presentation video and you don't have a teleprompter. Keep the background simple, right? So there's nothing really back here. I mean, there's a mirror, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Here, I've got nothing here, right? There's this. I actually put this here on purpose because I know what's back there and I don't want to be distracting, right? But, right, keep it clear. Energy and pacing. Your on-camera energy needs to be 10 to 20% higher than your normal conversational energy. That's what I said. Like, you are talking to your friend, but you're talking to him about something you're excited about, right? Whatever is like really exciting that you kind of both talk about, that you get really pumped up about, that's the energy. So it is your friend, but you're excited. And so you're gonna use your hands a little bit, right? You're gonna do things that are natural because you're talking to your friend, but you're very excited. You can smile more than you normally would, use hand gestures, vary your vocal tone, lean in slightly when making an important point, speak slightly slower than normal conversation. These are things just to try, right? Try them and see what works for you, and you're gonna figure out what works for you very quickly. Use strategic pauses for emphasis. Use your hands naturally. You don't wanna keep your hands still necessarily, unless you're doing what I'm doing, which is like scrolling through a presentation. But when I'm doing this and I'm talking to you over here, I'm really like, I'm trying to illustrate what's happening. Number one, it feels more natural if I'm like moving my hands. And number two, you don't really just want to look at my face. It's kind of a natural. If you were my friend and I was talking to you, like I would be gesticulating. So the third thing I want to say is keep gestures within the frame, right? It doesn't help if I've got like stuff going on over here, right? So I kind of have to move my hands so they're in the frame so that I know you can see them, right? You want to adjust everything for the frame that you have. Practice exercise. Record yourself explaining something to a friend. Watch the recording and notice your natural gestures. So like really have your friend sit down and just put the camera here and notice what you do. Now film yourself on camera and try to replicate that natural movement. If you're really struggling, hold a pen or a small object. It gives your hand something to do and looks intentional. The recording process. You need to set up your space. Position the camera at eye level, check the framing, test your lighting, test your audio, record 10 seconds and play it back. Do a tech recording, record 30 seconds of footage, watch it back to check everything, framing, lighting, audio, make adjustments before you start the real recording. Record in segments, not one long take. Recorded this already in 3 segments, it's probably gonna be 4 or 5 because I don't wanna risk that something goes wrong. I don't want to record for so long. So I record for a segment and then I pause and then I just pick up where I left off. You're gonna cut it all together anyway. If you mess up, just pause, take a breath, and start that segment again. This makes editing much easier. Don't stop and start the camera, guys. Don't stop and start the camera. Just continue rolling. Just back up and start over, and you're gonna cut that out anyway. If you stop the camera, it stops your energy and your momentum, and it's gonna make everything more difficult. So there's no cut. We're not saying cut. We're not doing anything like that. You just put the camera on and make the video, right? You're gonna cut all the mistakes out. You can do multiple takes. If you mess up, you can start over. If you're talking and your voice gets scratchy and you need to take a drink, just stop. Take a drink, and you're gonna cut it out later. Click, and it's gone, right? Don't worry about it. Looking at the lens and not yourself, I showed you this earlier. You wanna look at the lens when you're recording. The lens is here. If I look at myself, I'm not actually looking at you because the lens on my phone is over here. So I need to look at the lens when I'm delivering anything that I'm saying. It can help you to turn off the preview screen. Put a sticky note or a piece of tape next to the lens as a focal point. Yeah, you're just gonna have to practice at this. Try it for a minute and then stop and watch and just become aware of when you're looking at the lens and when you're looking at your notes or whatever. If you're looking at your notes, read them and you're gonna now pause for a second, right? Practice looking at your notes. No, see, I messed up, right? Practice looking at the lens for the practice looking at the lens for the entire recording. You see how I have a pause there? I can edit sections of the text together. If I have pauses in between them, it makes it a lot easier to edit everything back together. So just pause for a second if you need to do that. Screen recording. That's what I'm doing, right? It's okay to look at your screen. So I'm looking at my screen. Sometimes I'm looking at you and emphasizing a point, but mostly we're both looking at the screen together. Being too stiff or robotic. You're nervous, you're overthinking. Move your body naturally. Go and do some jack squats. Jump up and down. Yeah, go jump up and down for a few minutes. Then sit back down. Forgetting to smile or be natural. Filming in bad lighting. Just film in front of a window, guys. Recording in a noisy environment. Yeah, don't record with the kids at home. You didn't look at the camera. Don't wear distracting clothing. Not leaving handles, right? That's what I was talking about. Like, you start talking immediately after hitting record, right? That's gonna be more difficult than if I just say, you start talking immediately after hitting record, right? Now I've got a handle of silence in front of there. Better for editing. A good enough philosophy. Just do it, guys. Just start filming. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be published. Don't do 10 takes. Do 1 take. If you said it and it's clear, just put it up. Your 50th video will be exponentially better than your 5th video, but you can't get to 50 without publishing videos 1 to 49, okay? Now we're gonna talk about the content calendar, all right? Content calendar looks like this, right? You're gonna have the content pillar type. These are why videos, these are how-to videos, these are social proof, okay? I have the initial idea, then I'm gonna go into vidIQ and I'm gonna find the optimized version of that idea. So I'm gonna type this in, and then I'm gonna see what vidIQ comes up with, and I'm gonna put an optimized version here. I'm gonna put my score just to track it. These are things I'm gonna track later. After the video is up, I'm gonna track the average click-through rate, and I'm gonna track the average watch rate. And here, for me, I like to put the hook for the video. So this video is how to get your first 5K client in 30 days without cold calling. And the hook for that video is, I'm about to show you exactly how to land your first 5K client in the next 30 days. This is the same system I use to help my client Sarah go from 0 to 15K a month in 90 days. And by the end of this video, you'll have the complete roadmap, right? This is something you want to script out. The body of your video can just be bullet points, but you want to be pretty clear about the hook. So that is a content calendar. You can just put it in Google Docs. It should include these things: video topic, which funnel stage it is, content type, whether it's a client interview or it's a case study, right? The keyword, status. I don't have status there. I should probably have status, right? I could just like insert status somewhere. And I could just say like status, whatever. This is easy. 5E, the batching method. How to stay consistent without burning out. Once you get started on this, you're gonna wanna probably batch. And I touched on this earlier. Don't create one video at a time, right? So you wanna create your strategy. So maybe you wanna create your strategy of 12 videos, right? Get them all together. And then maybe you wanna shoot 4 videos in one day for the month. So once you get up and rolling, maybe for week 1, you script 4 videos, right? In a focus session. Week 2, you film all those videos, right? Week 3, you edit all those videos. Week 4, you schedule and optimize all 4 videos into your YouTube, and then you schedule them out, right? So now it's week 5 and you've got 1 video going out. Week 6, you've got 1 video going out. Week 7, you've got 1 video going out. Week 8, you've got 1 video going out. And by the end of that, you have another 4 videos ready because you've looped back through this all again for weeks 6 through 8, right? So it's much better to batch stuff if you want to maintain some sort of consistency, right? Okay, the result: 1 month of content created and 3 to 4 focused work sessions. So this is what I would do. This is what I do with clients. This is what I ideally do with myself when I'm super organized. 5F, the metrics that actually matter. Ignore vanity metrics. What is a vanity metric? A vanity metric is views and subscriptions and things that don't matter. We don't care about that. We want people to buy from us. Subscribers are a vanity metric, right? They don't pay the bills. You want click-through rate of 4 to 10%, right? That is how many people that view your thumbnail click on the video. 10% is really what you want. You don't want anything lower than 10%, really. Average view duration should be 30 to 50%. That is why we're gonna put one CTR at about the 30% mark, right? 30% of the way through the video, we're gonna put our first CTR because a lot of people will leave then. And the main thing is we want conversions. Are people booking calls, downloading your lead magnet, or buying? This is really what we're doing with this channel. We're not trying to get views. We're not trying to get paid by going viral. Where to find these metrics? Go to the YouTube Studio dashboard, right? Go to the dashboard, click on analytics, select the video you want to look at, click reach, click engagement, track conversions, analytics, video, reach, engagement. Okay, this is this video I just uploaded, so whatever. Very simple. Track conversions in your calendar tool, right? That's why I have this stuff here. I probably need to put another, like how many people clicked and booked a call, right? Track all this stuff. Module 6. Strategic CTAs, converting viewers to clients. Why most CTAs fail, right? Waiting until the end of the video. Why? Because most viewers don't watch to the end. They do like 30. Man, if somebody watched 50% of your video, good for you. 30% really is where it's gonna be if it's a good video. So that's where you put your first CTA. Place your primary CTA within the first 30 to 50% of your video. You capture viewers while they're still engaged. You provide value first, then ask, and you don't lose viewers who drop off before the end. For simple math, in a 10-minute video, place your CTA around the 3 to 5 minute mark, maybe 2 minutes and 30 seconds, right? So you're gonna do your hook, you're gonna kind of do your intro, and then you're gonna do your CTA before you get into the body of the video. Types of CTAs, top of the funnel, right? Low commitment. Subscribe for more tips like this, download my free checklist, watch this related video next, and that would lead them to a middle of the funnel video where you're showing them that you're good at what you do, right? So a CTA for a middle of the funnel video could be join my free webinar, get the full template in the description, watch my in-depth video on this topic. The in-depth video would lead them further down the funnel. Bottom of the funnel, right? You've shown them previous clients and what you've been able to do for previous clients. You've had an interview or you've had a case study. So if they like this video, they're ready to book, right? They're ready to work with you. So book a free strategy call, apply to work with our team, enroll in my program, right? Making CTAs feel natural. Bad CTA. Okay, that's how you do it. By the way, I have a course, link below, bye, right? Or like and subscribe, it really helps the channel. Okay, I hate this one. A good CTA. Now, if you want to take this to the next level and get my complete video optimization system, I've created a free guide that walks you through every step. You can grab it using the link in the description, right? Makes sense. It's in the context of the video that it lives in, and it's not annoying, right? That's why they're there. Context, value, and natural flow. This is what we're looking for. Your ultimate lead magnet is going to be your mega course. That's what you're watching right here, right? I'm showing you everything that I do in the services that I offer. I'm showing you exactly how I do it, right? You can do it yourself or you can hire me. Create one massive in-depth video like this one that becomes your primary lead magnet. Every other video on your channel should drive traffic to this mega course. Example CTA from a top of funnel video, right? If you want the complete A to Z system for building your YouTube sales machine, I've created a free 90-minute masterclass that covers everything. You can grab it using the link in the description. So there you go. This is what you want to do with a CTA. And a CTA is really just like,
if you're a coach or consultant who's too busy serving clients to create consistent content, and you want to see how we build your YouTube authority machine completely done for you, I made a video breaking down the entire system. Check out the link in the description below this video.
There's two ways that you can do a CTA. You can either record it in another setting, or you can just record it while you're recording the video that you're shooting. It doesn't really matter when you do it. It just needs to point them to the free asset or the next video or whatever it is that you want them to do. Module 7. I've given you the complete framework for building a powerful YouTube sales machine. Framework and positioning, 12 video funnel system, 3 types of content, algorithms, strategies, production workflows and systems, CTAs that convert viewers into clients. This is the exact system that I use. You can do nothing, you can do it yourself, or you can work with me. If you do nothing, you close this video, you feel inspired for a few days, and then life happens. This is the path of lost opportunity. You're gonna probably bookmark the video. You're gonna tell yourself, I'll start next week and things calm down. You'll get distracted by the next shiny object, and 6 months from now, you're in the exact same place. This is what 90% of people do. They consume content, feel motivated, and then take no action. The consequences are your channel stays stuck, you're struggling to get consistent leads, and your competitors who did take action are ahead of you. You're still trading time for money instead of building a system that works for you. Is this you? Fine. You can do it yourself. What this looks like. Everything I've taught you works, and if you do it, it's gonna work for you, right? I didn't hold anything back. You define your positioning and niche. You map out your 12 video content funnel, your initial structure. You start filming. Right? Optimize your titles and thumbnails. Commit to posting consistently for 90 days. Here's what will happen. While possible, the DIY route comes with its own set of challenges and often slower progression, right? You get fired up. You do your first few videos. Maybe in weeks 3 to 4, you hit a roadblock, right? Your video didn't perform well, you're unsure why, you don't have anyone to talk to. Week 5 to 8, inconsistency sets in. Some weeks you post, others you don't. Editing becomes overwhelming, you're not sure what to do next, right? There's absolutely no reason why you can't do all this yourself, taking the information that I've given you. Going it alone has its specific challenges. You don't have anyone to ask for feedback when you hit a roadblock. You lack expert feedback on your positioning, titles, or thumbnails. You don't have built-in accountability, and you're figuring it out as you go. Knowing is not the same thing as doing something, right? I can tell you all the stuff you need to do, and you're gonna sit down at your computer to do it, and it's gonna feel like you don't know what you're doing, because you don't know what you're doing. You have it in your brain, but you're not doing, you have never done it before, right? So this is like 12 to 18 months, great. Work with us. We have a proven system, we have expert guidance, we have accountability, you're gonna get timely feedback, right? Review your positioning, your video titles, your thumbnails before you publish, and speed to results, right? In 90 days, you're gonna have 12 videos. The fastest, most reliable path to generating consistent results from a YouTube channel is to work with somebody else. Maybe that's not me, right? But you're gonna wanna hire that out. Here's how it works. Initial onboarding call. We nail your positioning, we apply what works, we plan out your custom 12 video funnel, and you'll know exactly what to film and when. Weeks 1 and 2, we get your first 2 to 4 videos up. Depends on how fast you're going, right? We do ideation, scripting, editing, thumbnails, and SEO optimization, and all you're doing is filming. Weeks 3 to 4, your next 2 to 4 videos go up. As your authority scaffolding takes place, you talk about what you know and upload the raw footage. We take care of the rest. Week 5 to 8, consistency creates confidence. We provide feedback on every video, ensuring rapid improvement. Week 9 to 12, you're seeing traction, views are increasing, sales calls are coming in, and you have a sustainable system that works. Okay. All right. I hope this was really helpful. This is exactly everything that I do. You have everything that you need. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that you're inspired to take action. If you want to work with me, let me know. Reach out to me via the link in the description. If you want to take this and use it for yourself, go ahead and let me know how it works out. I'd love to hear from you.